mountainstometal.com. Today I have our tailgate reinforcement bracket. This works on the 2021 and up 6th Gen Bronco. This is definitely good if you were going to run some oversized tires. If not, you should consider this because we have lots of attachments that we have available for this right now and many more to come. So consider this to put on your 6th Gen Bronco. The first thing you're going to want to do is remove this plastic panel in the back. Just get you a plastic removal tool, start from the left side and pry out, and this will swing forward, and you just make sure you don't bend these tabs. I've removed this several times so they're getting a little big. Just be careful of that. But that's the first thing you're going to need to do. After that, you're going to reach your hands in here and unplug your camera and your third brake light, and you're going to push that through the back of your tailgate. So I'm going to show you that here now. For this one, you're going to want to push down on it, on the bottom, and then pull out right here. That'll get you that one. And the camera one, I've already loosened this up a little bit, to be honest. But that one takes a little bit of fighting, but you'll be able to pull that one right on out. That's for your camera. There's a plastic little bracket here. You're just going to want to push up on those little tabs, and you're just going to poke that through the other side. Once you have that done, you'll be ready to shut your door and start propping this thing up with some cardboard. Alright, one pointer I'm going to give you guys while you're doing this, make sure you guys leave your back glass or gate open, whatever you want to call this thing, especially on a hard top. Leave it open, because if you're like me, you're going to set some tools in the back right here, and you're going to need it as soon as you disassemble your hinges on your tailgate. You won't be able to open the door, so you're going to have to climb through and reach in and get something. So don't ask me how I know. Definitely, we did this at Supercell, and I had to climb through a guy's Bronco to get some stuff out of the back, which isn't fun for a big guy like me. So anyway, just want to tell you guys that. The next thing you're going to do is remove your spare tire. As you can see, I've already got this 37 mounted on here, but I didn't drive around long with that when I first got these tires before we came out with the tailgate reinforcement. So I'm going to do that now and go from there. All right. Now that you guys have your spare tire off, what you're going to want to do is get a bunch of little pieces of cardboard, possibly use the box that the tire reinforcement came in, tear it up into little strips. We're going to want to support our tailgate on the left and the bottom and the right hand side. So what I did is basically cut strips and just start sliding them into place. This will help keep your tailgate aligned when you do remove the bolts of the hinges. So you're going to want to take a 13mm socket. Now I went ahead and removed a couple of these for video, but you're just going to want to take these out with your 13mm, and I'm going to go ahead and remove the rest of these real quick. Set those off to the side. You're just going to pull it out a little bit. There's some pins on the back, as you can see, and those just line up in these holes here. So pull that out, and while you're at it, you can wipe that down. The other thing you're going to want to do is take these hinge bolts out. Now I went ahead and I did this before the video. You're going to take a T45, and chances are these are the bolts that came with the factory, so they will have some paint on them. So I would recommend putting a lot of pressure in when you're pushing towards the tailgate to loosen these up, because they do have paint around them and they may be a little tight. So you're going to want to take all 4 of these out. There are these nuts on the inside of the door, and they do move around. And during product testing, it did scare the mess out of us because it felt like they were falling inside the tailgate, but they're not. They do move around a little bit. So when we go to reinstall these, well, actually we'll be using bolts that you guys get with your kit for Mountains to Metal. So just keep in mind that you may have to play with those nuts on the inside of the door a little bit to get these things. See, that's moving around. But the thing is, they are connected by a plate. So if you move one, I'm moving the other. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. So don't freak out if they do move a little bit. All right, we're going to move on to the next part. The next thing you're going to want to do is take the provided gasket that we give you in the kit. You're basically going to pull this film back. Do so carefully in case the adhesive starts to pull off the back. Basically going to line up these little spikes here on each side and tape that into place. Right now I already have one taped here. This is the one I've had on my Bronco for months, and I'm not going to put one on here because I already got one. So anyways, I'll move on to the next step. And what we're going to do now is you're going to want to take some tape. We give you these machined aluminum conical washer spacers. So you're going to want to take some painter's tape and tape these into place. They will kind of fall out like you see there. So just take some of this, and what you're going to want to do is tape it a little bit at the top so that you can get the tape off once you're done installing this. It doesn't take much, you just got to get it to stay there, because eventually you're going to pinch this into place with the bolts that we provide. So I'm going to do that to all 4 of these and move on to the next step. Now it's time to mount our tailgate reinforcement. What you're going to want to do, especially if you only have one person and you only have 2 hands, you're going to want to use the supplied bolts in the kit. You're going to want to bolt through here in 2 locations. All that's going to do is just help you hold it so you can get your bolts ready for your hinges. So I'm going to do that now, and as we hold this up here, alright, that should hold it in place. Now we're going to take our provided stainless steel bolts that are in your kit, and we're going to want to try to hold this up and line up the holes in the washers. And like I said before, your conical washers, or the washers or nuts on the inside of the door, will move around a little bit. So you may have to play with it a little bit and try all the different holes. Like I said, these are connected on the inside of the door, so you're going to want to play with these a little bit, and eventually you will get one of them started, and that'll help line up everything. We got all the bolts started. One thing I will tell you is it is easier to do this with a friend. I have the cameraman Cody back there helping me out, but anyways, what we had to do is just kind of move the door around with our hands, pushing, pulling, maybe pick up on it a little bit, because like I said, those nuts do play with you a little bit. But once you get one started, they are easy to manipulate. I got all 4 of these started. I'm gonna go ahead and pull my tape off just so I can get my fingers back there a little easier. So I'll do that real quick. You're going to want to snug these bolts up on your hinges. Don't tighten them all the way, because I want to put the tire holder back onto place first. So those 2 bolts I had you put in earlier, go ahead and take those out, and everything should stay in place. This will give you a little bit of room to align the holes for your tire holder. Let's go ahead and do that, and I'll actually just use these 2 bolts here, get this thing started, line up these holes, these pinholes. Push forward a little bit, you should be able to line up these holes pretty easy. Alright, now that I have all the bolts tightened up, before I did that actually, I checked the alignment, make sure the gaps are about what they were when you first started this. But I had Cody push over on the door a little bit while I tighten these hinges up, so this gap will get a little smaller, make that one a little bigger. Anyways, what we're going to do now is pull off all of our cardboard. I'm going to shove our camera and third brake light back through this hole, and all you do is pop that, just pops back into place. So I'm going to start pulling all this cardboard out, and we'll give it once over real quick. Looks good to me. If you are going to go with 37s, consider putting the Mountains to Metal third brake light extension on here. We'll raise your brake light up to clear those oversized tires. It will be a little close with the factory alignment, so you're going to want to hook that up, get your periscope on so people can see you braking. Anyways, we'll move on to the inside now. Alright, now that you're back on the inside, I hooked up the brake light and the camera cable for the camera. Anyways, now is a good time to install the Mountains to Metal med cabinet. Put your stash in there. As you can see, I've got little dinosaurs in here, and I also got buried in here, I got some dog treats. Good spot for dog treats. And realistically, put your medicine in here, and we will have a locked version of this coming out shortly. Put your firearms or whatever else you got you want to lock up, other stashes. And also is a good time, if you're going to be using the tailgate reinforcement as intended, you want to consider getting our tailgate limiter. This will allow you to adjust your tailgate opening from 135 down to 80 degrees. I have it set to 90 because I will be putting a single Rotopax on the side of my 37. That will allow me to adjust this tailgate all the way to 80 or 90 degrees, and it won't smash my tail light when I open it. So I've already got mine set to 80. We were testing something else out. I'm going to put it back to 90 here shortly, and I can open it all the way. It won't smash my tail light, and I'll show you that here in a second. We got our tailgate reinforcement installed. I'm going to go ahead and install one of our products here. Sorry for the dirt, a little dusty, been using it. I went ahead and put a Rotopax mount on here. We got the holes already in there for you. Lines right up. What I'm going to do is pick which set of holes I want. I also went ahead and put the antenna and a GoPro mount on here. That's also available on our website. Among other things, molly panel. We also have different size electrical enclosures that'll go on the back to store recovery gear, knickknacks. They're lockable. Have other stuff coming out in the future, so you'll be able to customize the heck out of this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and install this real quick and show you guys how that works. Well, I've lined up my holes. Right now I've got it pushed over. This is for a 37-inch tire. Basically going to line up all 4 holes and tighten these bolts. If you got a 35-inch tire, you're obviously going to want to push it that way. Go as close as you can to your tire. But anyways, I've got mine moved out. That's kind of the reason why we have the tire reinforcement. So I urge you to customize it and use it and abuse it. And the nice thing about this mount is you don't have to use a Rotopax. It works with other brand gas cans or jerry cans. If you don't have the mount up here, you can strap a full-size jerry can on here, use it for a trash bag, other gear, little bags, knickknacks. I don't know, you guys have been on the trail. Everybody uses their vehicle a different way. We want to give you guys a lot of different ways to customize your vehicle. So you can use this molly panel as this is intended to be used. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and throw this Rotopax on here and go from there. Go with that. See how it looks. And that concludes the video for the tailgate reinforcement bracket install. Not too hard, a little intimidating at times. I did need the help of cameraman Cody back there for a couple things, but other than that, you can do it by yourself. Just take your time, don't get overwhelmed. If you need to, call a buddy, buy him a couple beers, it'll help you out. So anyways, this is Nick with mountainstometal.com. Tailgate reinforcement bracket. Watch the video again. You saw our med cabinet, our tailgate limiter, and also we got this Rotopax mount here on the side. So anyways, enjoy it. I'll see you guys out on the trail. mountainstometal.com.